Okay, well, we are still way late on the holiday special, but I got something for you now. So here's the way that we have wired up everything. We're going to use this DH166D in here. Let's take a look at the top. Got the platform on, everything. Okay. Power from the rear comes up to the first collector. Jewelry wire spans to the second collector. Now, this collector here is for the motor only, and there's a jewelry wire span covered in a heat shrink that goes across. That may be, we may have to make sure that we keep that insulated. We don't want that to, when we solder on some wires, we don't want it to rip or nothing. And then the collector over here for the front truck. All right, so these two truck collectors accumulate power right here. So when we put this 166 in here, we'll be running a red and a black to here, and an orange and a gray to here. That takes care of the motor. But what about the lights? I want to use fiber optics. So I've drawn a plan. And as always, I want a beacon. Where that little slot is for the horn, and I'll have to find a horn somewhere. Figure out what we're going to do for a horn. It won't be right there. It'll probably be more like back here. Put the beacon there. And the beacon is nothing more than a simple 3mm LED like this. Okay, now take a look at what we're going to do. So here's the thing. We got all these wires, right? And I don't want a huge bird's nest. And I don't really want to do disconnects. Even though I got a brand new disconnect kit, I haven't tried it yet, and I'm not ready to use it on this. But let's see what we're going to do here. So let's zoom into my diagram. Okay, so what I've got here, this is how I'm going to do it. We'll use some copper-clad PC board, which I have right here. Alright, some project board. It's got a resin back. It's got copper in front. Alright, and as if you're familiar with TrackLan and stuff, you know, you cut gaps in them to make pathways for your electronics. Alright, now I'm drawing this upside down so that when I flip it over, it will be where I want my wires to be. So I've got a rear LED and a front LED. And I've got a beacon. So I'm going to have to cut the board right here and make a space. I thought about, I could make this board in one shot and I could drill some holes and stuff. No, I'm not going to do that. We'll just cut it and span it with a little piece of jewelry wire. So the rear LED, which is yellow, has this is the blue wire strip here, the plus strip. If you're using a Tsunami or something, you'll run the plus to this whole span here. Okay, then there's a gap down the middle. And on this side of the gap, we connect our LEDs on the end. See, there's a little flag. The flag is the out side. The blue is in, out to the resistor. And you got to put a gap here where the resistor is. Okay, so then the resistor to the yellow wire. That'll be the rear light. And then we're going to use fiber optics. We'll take a piece of heat shrink about like this, which should just barely fit that guy, just like that. And then we'll stuff some fiber optics in there. All right, and then yellow goes down. Then there's a gap. All right, then the beacon will come down from the roof, come in like this. Here's his resistor, and he's going to be in green. He'll probably be green, maybe purple. I don't know. He could be either one on this thing. He could be green or purple. It doesn't matter. But he comes down to his resistor. There's a gap in there. Okay, then to the front, we've got our span for our power cross. There's our LED on the front. Same thing with the heat shrink and everything again. And then we resistor, gap, resistor, and down to the white wire. And then that takes care of our nice and clean. We just goop it in place and then poke down the LED through the top. Bend him over and just touch and go with our soldering iron, and we'll be good, and we'll be all set. And that's how we're going to do that. And then, okay, let's take a look down here. Now I'm going to tell you, I've told you what. So this is basically the board. It goes like this and like that. Oops, it goes like this and this and like that. And there'll be a strip cut down the middle, and then you get your resistors. Okay, I use these. These are the guys I use. They're 1Ks. They have a gold stripe on them. Now, the reason I use those and not something else, a bunch of you say, oh, you don't need them that big and you don't need those kind. Well, I have like 10 bags just like this full of them, and they don't fail me, so I use them for everything. They don't hurt nothing, and the years of testing, they've always come through. Here's the thing. See that gold stripe? I used to buy these at Radio Shack in like a pack of 5 or 6. That gold stripe, that does, according to Radio Shack's diagram, is the outside. So you got power coming in, power going out on their diagram. I know a lot of you say, oh, it doesn't matter which direction, but even if it doesn't matter, my habit is always gold stripe is out. It's on the way back. And I just wire everything like that just so it keeps it so that I can look at something that I've done and see which way I think power is flowing. And that may be a simple explanation of it, but I just follow that gold stripe out. And I always put them on the flagpole side. I know you can put them on going in. You can put them on. I always do it on the flagpole side. And I don't remember where it was that I first saw that something done like that. But ever since then, I've always done that so that the blue wire, as you know, on here, or the plus on any other type of decoder, the plus wire, no resistors on this wire. He just goes up to a strip. Don't worry about nothing. I put all the resistors on the colored wires. The white, the yellow, and either the green or the orange. And that's how I do it. And I like that way. Okay, so this video here will be incorporated into the holiday special, which I hope we get finished. We're already into the new year. I'm going to have to start working right away on next year's, or on this year's holiday special. But we're going to get this guy done, and he's going to be cool. There's just no two ways about it. He is going to be cool. We're getting there. We're getting there.